Welcome to Road Ready Recaps. Are you looking for a concise and full overview of Florida Driver License Handbook 2023? You are at the right place. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Driver Licenses and ID Cards. This chapter clarifies who must hold a valid Florida driver license or identification card and the documents you must bring to prove identity, social security, and residence. It also outlines special rules for minors, veterans, organ donors, and other groups so you can determine the credential and endorsements that match your situation. Definitions. The handbook defines resident, immigrant, non-immigrant, and U.S. citizen to determine which credential rules apply in specific situations. A resident is anyone domiciled in Florida over 6 months or who claims in-state privileges such as homestead exemption. Immigrants hold permanent resident status, while non-immigrants enter temporarily for education, work, or travel and must keep lawful status. Who needs a Florida license to drive? Every Florida resident who operates a motor vehicle on public roads must obtain a state driver license within 30 days of establishing residency. Non-residents who accept employment, run a business, or enroll a child in a Florida public school are also required to obtain a Florida license. Certain visitors may drive with a valid license from another U.S. state or an international driving permit when accompanied by their home country license. Reciprocity. Florida waives the knowledge and driving skills exams for applicants who surrender an unexpired license from another U.S. state or approved country. Vision screening is still required, and the out-of-state credential must be surrendered when the Florida license is issued. Approved reciprocity partners currently include U.S. territories, Canada, France, Germany, Taiwan, South Korea, and qualifying U.S. military licenses. License classifications. Class E is Florida's basic non-commercial driver license, covering passenger vehicles under 26,001 pounds gross weight. A motorcycle endorsement allows operation of 2- or 3-wheel motorcycles over 50 cubic centimeters, while a motorcycle-only license is available for riders without full vehicle privileges. Commercial driver licenses, classes A, B, and C, are required for large, passenger, or hazardous materials vehicles that meet federal weight or placarding thresholds. Requirements for both driver license and ID cards. All applicants must present one primary identity document, proof of social security number or approved secondary ID, and 2 proofs of Florida residential address. Original or certified copies are mandatory. Photocopies and notarized reproductions are never accepted at issuance offices. Name changes must be supported by marriage certificates, divorce decrees, or court orders linking every prior and current legal name. Requirements for Class E learners and driver license. First-time applicants must complete the Traffic Law and Substance Abuse Education course, pass vision screening, and succeed on knowledge and driving tests. Applicants under 18 must hold a learner's license for 12 months, log 50 practice hours with 10 at night, and have parent or guardian certification. School attendance compliance and a parental consent signature are mandatory before minors may be issued either a learner's or full Class E license. Parental consent for minors. A parent, legal guardian, or responsible adult over 21 must sign the application in person or before a notary to assume financial responsibility. The signer may rescind consent at any time by notifying the Bureau of Motorist Compliance, resulting in immediate cancellation of the minor's license. Married or emancipated minors may present a certified marriage certificate or court order to bypass the parental consent requirement. Physical and mental requirements. Applicants must disclose any medical condition such as epilepsy, blackout spells, or insulin-dependent diabetes that could impair safe driving. The department may require a physician to complete a medical report and can issue licenses with restrictions tailored to the driver's demonstrated abilities. Indicating insulin-dependent on the license is optional but helps first responders understand potential medical needs during an emergency. Restriction codes. Florida uses alphanumeric codes printed on the credential to reflect equipment or driving restrictions like corrective lenses, daylight driving, or automatic transmission. Failure to comply with an assigned restriction can lead to traffic citations and even suspension of the driving privilege until corrective action is taken. Ignition interlock, business propositionally, and medical alert bracelets are examples of specialized restrictions that protect both the driver and the public. ID cards for homeless persons. Florida waives the ID card fee for individuals who provide a current letter from a recognized homeless shelter affirming their residency at the facility. Applicants must still satisfy all real ID identity, social security, and residence documentation standards before an ID card can be issued. The zero-cost credential helps homeless residents secure employment, housing, social services, and medical care requiring official identification. ID cards for persons at or below poverty level. Applicants whose prior year federal tax return reflects income at or below 100% of the poverty level may receive a no-fee ID card. Proof of eligibility may also include current enrollment documentation from Florida's Access Benefits program administered by the Department of Children and Families. The fee exemption is designed to remove financial barriers to obtaining legal identification needed for essential services and civic participation. Florida organ and tissue donor. Applicants may join the Donate Life Florida registry at issuance or renewal, adding a small red heart symbol and the word donor to the credential. One registered donor can save up to 8 lives through organ transplantation and improve many more through tissue and corneal donation. Registrants should inform family of their decision because under Florida law, medical personnel consult the registry before recovery procedures. Veteran designation. Honorably discharged U.S. veterans may request the word veteran on the license or ID by presenting a DD-214 or other acceptable discharge proof. The veteran label grants recognition and eases access to military discounts and state benefits without carrying separation paperwork. Adding the designation is free, though normal issuance fees still apply unless waived under other statutory exemptions. Address and name changes. Drivers must update their mailing and residential address within 30 days of any move to ensure continued receipt of renewal notices and legal correspondence. Name changes on a credential require legal proof and prior update of the Social Security record or USCIS documents for non-citizens before visiting the office. Failure to maintain current address information may result in missed citations, suspension notices, or penalties assessed during traffic stops. Exempt fees for 100% disabled U.S. veterans. Veterans with a letter or ID card from the Department of Veterans Affairs establishing a 100% service-connected disability are exempt from initial license, renewal, and ID card fees. The exemption covers any state-mandated fees, but not third-party tax collector service charges when applicable. Presenting updated VA documentation at each transaction ensures the veteran continues to receive the financial relief intended by statute. Chapter 1 Summary. Chapter 1 equips you with the legal definitions, documentation checklists, and fee schedules that govern every Florida driver license or identification card. Knowing which license you need, how to prove your identity and residence, and the consequences of noncompliance lays a solid foundation for safe, lawful driving. Up next, you will explore the approved training courses and testing providers that prepare new drivers for the road ahead. Chapter 2. Driving schools and test providers. Ready to sharpen your driving know-how? This chapter explains Florida-approved courses and the places where you can take each exam. From first-timer TLSAE classes to third-party road tests, you'll see every option for getting trained and tested the right way. Driving schools/courses. FLHSMV maintains an online list of approved private and public driving schools. Schools must follow state curriculum and use licensed instructors to keep their approval. Check FLHSMV.gov before registering to confirm the provider's status and any course fees. Traffic Law Substance Abuse Education, TLSAE, course. Every first-time license applicant, regardless of age, must complete the 4-hour TLSAE course. The class covers Florida traffic laws, impaired driving risks, and safe driving habits. Approved providers can deliver TLSAE online or in person and upload completion results directly to FLHSMV. Basic Driver Improvement, BDI course. Drivers who receive a non-criminal moving violation may elect BDI to avoid points and earn up to an 18% fine reduction. Courts may also order BDI after certain crashes or unsafe driving convictions. Completion must be filed within 30 days of the citation. The election is limited to once per 12 months and 5 times in a lifetime. Advanced Driver Improvement, ADI, courses. ADI is a 12-hour course required after license suspensions for points, habitual traffic offenses, or court orders. Failure to finish ADI by the deadline keeps the suspension active until completion is recorded. Many providers allow early reinstatement permits so you can drive for work or school while finishing the class. Licensed DUI programs. DUI Level 1, 12 hours, and Level 2, 21 hours. Courses are mandatory after DUI arrests or convictions. Students must also undergo an alcohol evaluation interview and complete any recommended treatment. Enrollment must occur within 90 days of conviction to avoid additional sanctions. Older driver courses. Florida-approved mature driver courses refresh rules, vision tips, and defensive driving skills. Successful completion may qualify drivers 55 plus 4 optional insurance discounts. Check with your insurer. Courses are voluntary and offered online or in classroom settings statewide. Driver license service centers. State and county tax collector offices provide testing and licensing services at more than 200 locations. Appointments are strongly recommended. Walk-in capacity is limited and varies by office. Center staff verify identity documents, administer exams, and issue physical credentials. Driver Education (DLAP). Many high school driver ed teachers partner with FLHSMV under the DLAP program. Students who pass DLAP classroom and road tests receive scores uploaded directly to the FLHSMV database. A parent or guardian still must accompany minors to the service center for picture taking and license issuance. Third-party testing. Approved third-party administrators, TPAs, may offer the Class E knowledge and skills tests. TPAs must use state-secured testing systems and video record all road exams for audit. Passing results transmit electronically, allowing the applicant to finish licensing at any service center. Vision and hearing screening. All applicants must pass a vision screening of 20/40 or better in either or both eyes, with correction if worn. Hearing is checked informally during interaction. Significant impairment may trigger a medical review. Applicants who fail vision may supply a Form 72119 from an eye professional certifying corrective measures. Class E Knowledge Exam. The 50-question multiple-choice test covers traffic laws, safe driving, and signage recognition. A score of 80%, 40 correct, is required to pass. Results remain valid for 1 year. Teens may take the exam online through an approved provider, but must retest in office if on-camera irregularities occur. Driving Skills Test. Conducted in a street-legal vehicle provided by the applicant or school, lasting about 20 minutes. The examiner scores lane changes, backing, parking, obedience to signs, and overall control. Any dangerous action results in an automatic failure. You must wait 24 hours before retesting. Chapter 2 Summary. That wraps up Florida-approved courses and the testing paths that suit every type of driver. Next, we'll discuss your driving privilege, which comes with some obligations. Chapter 3. Your driving privilege. Driving is a privilege, not a right. Florida law sets clear rules to keep that privilege safe for everyone. This section explains DUI standards, implied consent testing, zero tolerance for minors, and the seatbelt laws that protect all occupants. Driving under the influence, DUI. It is illegal to operate a vehicle with a blood alcohol concentration, BAC, of 0.08 g/dl or higher, or while affected by drugs or chemical substances. Commercial drivers violate the law at 0.04 BAC. Drivers under 21 fall under zero tolerance rules starting at 0.02 BAC. Being in actual physical control, key in ignition, vehicle capable of movement, also constitutes DUI. Implied consent law. By holding a Florida license, you agree to breath, blood, or urine testing when lawfully arrested for DUI. Refusing a test triggers an automatic 1-year suspension, 18 months for repeat refusals. Refusal is admissible in court as evidence of impairment and bars hardship reinstatement during suspension. Penalties for DUI. First offense, $500, $1,000 fine, up to 6 months jail, 180-day to 1-year revocation, completion of Level 1 DUI school. Second, within 5 years, $1,000, $2,000 fine, up to 9 months jail, minimum 5-year revocation, ignition interlock for 1 year. Third, within 10 years is a felony, $2,000, $5,000 fine, up to 12 months jail, 10-year revocation, interlock for 2 years. Higher BAC, 0.15 plus, or carrying a minor passenger elevates fines and mandatory jail time. Zero tolerance. Drivers under 21 face a 6-month administrative suspension with BAC 0.02 g/dl or above, 1 year for subsequent violations. Refusing testing subjects minors to a 1-year suspension, 18 months on repeat refusals. Criminal DUI charges may still apply if impairment can be proven. Safety belts. Florida requires the driver, all front seat passengers, and everyone under 18 to wear a safety belt or child restraint. Seatbelt enforcement is primary. Officers may stop a vehicle solely for a belt violation. The driver is responsible for ensuring passengers under 18 are properly restrained. Child passenger safety seats/restraints. Children under 5 must ride in a federally approved child restraint device on every trip. Under 3 years, separate child safety seat, ages 4-5, booster, integrated seat, or separate child seat. Children under 13 are safest in the rear seat when available. Florida law requires. Restraints must be used per manufacturer's instructions, with lap belt low across hips and shoulder belt across chest. Post-1968 passenger cars must have belts meeting federal standards. Drivers must ensure equipment is functional. Failure to secure a child properly results in driver citation and possible court-ordered safety course attendance. Exemptions. The belt law does not apply to buses, farm equipment, heavy trucks over 26,000 pounds, or newspaper delivery vehicles. Medical exemptions require a signed physician letter carried in the vehicle. Sanitation workers actively collecting refuse may ride unbelted on designated collection routes. Chapter 3 Summary. Strong DUI penalties and universal restraint rules protect every Floridian's driving privilege. Next, we'll explore vehicle inspection and registration, making sure the car is as compliant as the driver. Chapter 4. Before you drive, you the driver. Safe trips start with a safe driver. This chapter focuses on your physical, mental, and emotional readiness every time you get behind the wheel. From alcohol and medications to fatigue and aggressive moods, we'll see how personal choices affect everyone's safety. Drinking and driving. Alcohol slows reaction time, blurs vision, clouds judgment, and weakens coordination, traits vital for safe driving. A BAC of 0.08 g/dl or higher is illegal for most drivers. 0.04 g/dl disqualifies commercial drivers. Even one drink can impair driving ability, especially for young or inexperienced drivers. Drugged driving. Prescription, over-the-counter, and illegal drugs can all impair perception, timing, and decision-making. Florida imposes the same penalties for drug-related impairment as for alcohol-related DUI. Always check medication labels for driving warnings and talk with your pharmacist about side effects. Mixing alcohol and drugs. Combining alcohol with sedatives, painkillers, antihistamines, or cannabis multiplies impairment effects. One drink taken with certain medications can equal several drinks in its impact on driving performance. When in doubt, choose not to drive or arrange a sober ride. Drowsy driving. Fatigue slows reflexes and causes microsleeps, brief lapses that can lead to crashes at freeway speeds. Common causes include lack of sleep, shift work, long drives, and certain medications. Plan rest stops every 2 hours, rotate drivers, and avoid driving during your normal sleep period. Distracted driving. Distractions include texting, eating, adjusting controls, daydreaming, or interacting with passengers. Looking away for just 3 seconds at 55 miles per hour equals driving the length of a football field blindfolded. Florida bans texting while driving and allows primary enforcement of handheld use in work and school zones. Aggressive driving and road rage. Aggressive driving combines several dangerous behaviors such as speeding, tailgating, and erratic lane changes. Signs include sudden acceleration, cutting off other vehicles, and rude gestures. If confronted, avoid eye contact, do not retaliate, and create space by safely changing lanes or exiting. Chapter 4 Summary. Being fit to drive is as critical as knowing the rules of the road. Manage alcohol, medications, fatigue, and emotions before turning the key. Next, we'll down vehicle inspection and registration, keeping your car as road ready as your new skills. Chapter 5. Before you drive, your vehicle. A road-ready vehicle is just as important as a road-ready driver. This section checks that your car's tech and hardware are set for safety. We'll review modern driver assist systems and the equipment rules that keep cargo and everyone around you secure. Vehicle safety technology. Modern cars include driver assist features such as ABS, electronic stability control, lane keeping, and adaptive cruise control. Always review the owner's manual to understand how each system works and what dashboard alerts mean. Technology only supports. You remain fully responsible for steering, braking, and attentive driving. Collision warning systems. Forward, side, and rear sensors issue visual or audible alerts when a crash risk is detected. Examples include forward collision warning, lane departure warning, and blind spot monitoring. When warned, brake or steer promptly. Ignoring alerts can lead to intervention by automated systems. Collision intervention systems. Automatic emergency braking and lane keeping assistance actively apply brakes or steering if you fail to respond. Intervention is typically last second and may feel abrupt. Keep sensors clean and cameras unobstructed. Systems reduce crash severity but cannot overcome excessive speed or aggressive maneuvers. Driving control assistance. Adaptive cruise control maintains set speed and following distance, adjusting for slower traffic. Traction and stability control help keep the vehicle pointed where you steer on slippery surfaces. Hands-free is not hazard-free. Stay alert and be ready to resume full control instantly. Other systems. Rear cross-traffic alert. Parking sensors and cameras aid low-speed maneuvers and backing. Tire pressure monitoring warns of underinflation that can cause blowouts and poor handling. Night vision, head-up displays, and drowsiness detection enhance awareness in challenging conditions. Equipment requirements. Florida law requires operational headlights, taillights, turn signals, mirrors, wipers, and horn. Windshields must be clear of major cracks. Tint must meet legal light transmission limits. Tires need at least 2/32 inch tread depth. Unsafe equipment can result in citation or vehicle impound. Drawbar or towing connection. Tow bars, chains, and hitches must safely pull the load and include safety chains for redundancy. Drawbar length may not exceed 15 feet unless transporting poles, pipes, or similar items. Trailers over 3,000 pounds require their own brakes, lights, and reflectors. Securing the load. Cargo must be restrained so it cannot shift, spill, blow, or fall from the vehicle. Use straps, nets, tarps, or enclosures for loose materials such as gravel, trash, or landscaping debris. Drivers are liable for road debris that causes damage or crashes. Projecting loads. Loads extending greater than 4 feet beyond the rear must display a red flag, day, or red lights/reflectors, night. Side projections over 6 in or front projections over 4 feet require additional marker lamps or reflectors. Proper marking alerts other drivers and helps prevent rear-end collisions. Chapter 5 Summary. With a well-maintained, properly equipped vehicle, you're ready to translate skills into real-world safety. Next up, traffic controls, how to navigate traffic signs, signals, and markings. Chapter 6. Traffic Controls. Traffic Controls Guide, warn and regulate every movement on Florida's roads. Learning what each light, arrow, and signal means keeps traffic flowing and prevents costly mistakes. This section breaks down standard signals, lane indicators, and pedestrian cues so you can read the road at a glance. Traffic control signals. Standard 3-color lights regulate intersections, rail crossings, and drawbridges. Signals are placed over the lane they govern or on roadside masts for clear visibility. When signals are out of service, treat the intersection as a 4-way stop unless officers direct otherwise. Red light. Come to a complete stop before the stop line, crosswalk, or intersection. Right turn on red is allowed after a full stop unless a sign forbids it. Yield to all others first. Left turn on red from a one-way street into another one-way street is permitted when clear. Yellow light. A steady yellow warns that the light is about to turn red. Stop if you can do so safely. Entering on yellow after it turns red may trigger enforcement cameras or cause side impact crashes. Do not accelerate to beat the light. Prepare to clear the intersection. Green light. Proceed through the intersection if the path is clear. Yield to pedestrians still in the crosswalk. When turning left on green, yield to oncoming traffic unless you have a protected arrow. Always can cross traffic that may violate their red light. Flashing signals. Flashing red equals stop, then proceed when the way is clear, same as a stop sign. Flashing yellow equals slow down, watch for traffic and proceed with caution. Flashing yellow arrow equals left turns allowed, but yield to oncoming cars and pedestrians. Red arrow. Treat a steady red arrow the same as a red light for that movement. No turn is allowed. Do not proceed until the arrow changes to green or flashing yellow and the way is clear. A right or left red arrow may be accompanied by an advisory sign explaining restrictions. Yellow arrow. A steady yellow arrow warns that the protected turn phase is ending. If you are in the intersection, complete the turn. New arrivals must prepare to stop. After the change, you may face a red arrow or flashing yellow arrow with different rules. Green arrow. A steady green arrow provides a protected turn. Oncoming traffic and pedestrians have a red light. Stay in the indicated lane and complete the turn when safe. Do not change lanes mid-turn. The arrow may accompany a regular green light for through traffic. Lane signals. Overhead lane use signals manage reversible lanes and toll plaza approaches. Green arrow equals lane open. Red X equals lane closed. Leave the lane safely when a red X appears. Steady yellow X equals lane closing soon. Flashing yellow X equals lane only for left turns. Pedestrian signals. Walk or walking figure equals start crossing. Those already crossing continue when signal flashes. Flashing don't walk or flashing hand equals finish crossing quickly. Do not start. Steady don't walk means do not enter the crosswalk. Wait for the next walk. School zone signals. Flashing beacons mark reduced speed school zones during posted times. Obey the lower speed limit whenever lights flash or when a sign indicates specific hours. Extra fines and license points apply for speeding in active school zones. Chapter 6 Summary. Mastering signals and lane indicators lets you anticipate traffic flow and make safe, legal moves every time. Up next, best practices for driving safely. Chapter 7. Driving safety. Good driving is proactive, not reactive. This section shows how to control speed, space, and visibility so every trip ends safely. We'll cover core defensive driving habits plus special tips for night, weather, and work zone situations. Speed management. Obey posted limits and adjust for traffic, weather, and sight distance. Remember, the faster you drive, the longer it takes to stop. Florida may cite you for driving too fast for conditions even below the limit. Following distance, 3-second rule. Pick a fixed point the car ahead passes, reach it at least 3 seconds later. Add extra seconds for rain, darkness, or when following motorcycles and large trucks. Tailgating gives no room to react and is considered aggressive driving. Scanning the road ahead. Look 10 to 15 seconds, about a city block, ahead to spot hazards early. Check mirrors every 5 to 8 seconds and before any speed or lane change. Move your eyes. Staring straight ahead causes tunnel vision and missed cues. Communicating your intentions. Signal at least 100 feet before turning or changing lanes. Tap brakes early to warn following drivers you will slow or stop. Use headlights, horn, or hand signals only as needed. Avoid unnecessary flashing or honking. Blind spots and mirror checks. Adjust mirrors to reduce, but not eliminate, blind spots. Always glance over your shoulder before moving. Never linger alongside another vehicle. Either pass or fall back so they can see you. Large trucks have no zones where your vehicle disappears from their mirrors. Keep clear. Proper lane changes. Signal check mirrors, look over shoulder, change lanes, smoothly cancel signal. Maintain steady speed, sudden braking or acceleration surprises surrounding traffic. Only change one lane at a time. Weaving violates safe driving statutes. Safe passing. Pass only where pavement markings permit and you have clear oncoming sight distance. Return to your lane when both headlights of the passed vehicle appear in your rearview mirror. Do not exceed the speed limit while passing. Speeding tickets still apply. Intersection safety. Slow and cover the brake when approaching any intersection, even on green. Look left, right, left before entering. Most serious crashes involve cross traffic on red. Yield to pedestrians in crosswalks and to vehicles already in the intersection. Railroad crossings. Never stop on tracks. Ensure there is room on the far side before crossing. Flashing red lights mean stop. Trains need over a mile to halt. School buses and placarded hazmat trucks must always stop. Be prepared to slow behind them. Night driving. Use low beams within 300 feet of trailing traffic or 500 feet of oncoming traffic. Increase following distance and watch for animals' reflective eyes along the roadway. If blinded by high beams, look to the right edge line until vision recovers. Adverse weather. Rain, fog, and smoke cut visibility. Slow down. Use low beams and wipers. Hydroplaning can start at 35 miles per hour on wet pavement. Ease off gas. Do not brake hard. If windshield wipers are on, Florida law requires headlights on as well. Work zones. Orange signs and flaggers guide you. Fines double for speeding in active zones. Merge early, follow posted detours, and never drive on closed shoulders. Expect sudden stops from construction vehicles entering or exiting the lane. Sharing the road. Give bicyclists at least 3 feet of clearance, more at higher speeds. Motorcycles stop faster, never cut them off when turning or merging. Large trucks need extra space to turn right and longer gaps to stop. Stay out of no zones. Defensive driving practices. Stay alert, leave yourself an out, and expect the unexpected from others. Avoid road rage triggers. Allow time, plan route, and keep emotions in check. If a crash seems likely, brake firmly while steering to the safest possible escape path. Chapter 7 Summary. Driving safely means managing speed, space, and visibility, and staying calm when conditions change. Next, we'll move on to special driving situations and how to handle them. Chapter 8. Special driving situations. Some conditions demand more than ordinary caution. This chapter prepares you for weather, roadway, and traffic surprises that test every driver's judgment. From blinding fog to tire blowouts, you'll learn how to anticipate, avoid, and, when necessary, recover from the unexpected. Rain. Turn on headlights when wipers are needed. Reduce speed and increase following distance. Hydroplaning begins around 35 miles per hour. Ease off the gas, steer straight, and do not brake hard. After driving through deep water, lightly apply brakes to dry them before normal speed. Flooded roadways. Never attempt to cross water flowing over the road. Just 6 inches can stall a car, 2 feet can float it. Depth and current are impossible to judge. Turn around. Don't drown. If the engine stalls in rising water, abandon the vehicle and reach higher ground. Fog and smoke. Slow down, use low-beam headlights, and be ready for sudden stops. If visibility is near zero, pull completely off the roadway, turn off lights, and wait for conditions to improve. Avoid passing. Vehicles ahead provide valuable taillights for reference. Night driving. Use high beams on unlit roads when legal. Dim within 500 feet of oncoming or 300 feet of preceding traffic. Scan edges for animals and pedestrians. Increase following distance to compensate for reduced visibility. If blinded by a glare, glance to the right edge line until vision recovers. Work zones. Orange signs, cones and flaggers channel traffic, obey them, and posted reduced limits. Fines double for speeding in active zones. Workers and equipment may enter lanes unexpectedly. Merge early and maintain safe gaps. Avoid last-second lane changes. Expressway driving. Use acceleration lanes to match traffic speed before merging. Look over shoulder for a safe gap. Stay in the right lane unless passing. Signal and move right well before your exit. If you miss an exit, continue to the next. Never stop or reverse on the shoulder. Rural and two-lane roads. Expect slow-moving farm vehicles and limited sight distance over hills and curves. Use turnouts or slow zones to let faster traffic pass when you're being tailgated. Watch for unpaved shoulders and wildlife crossings, especially at dawn and dusk. Skids and off-road recovery. If rear wheels skid, steer into the slide and avoid hard braking until traction returns. If right wheels leave pavement, ease off gas, steer straight, slow down, then gently return to roadway. Keep a firm grip on the wheel. Sudden jerks can cause loss of control. Vehicle emergencies. Tire blowout. Grip wheel. Ease off gas. Steer straight. Allow vehicle to slow, then pull off safely. Brake failure. Pump brakes. Downshift to lower gear. Apply parking brake gradually. Aim for open area. Stuck accelerator. Shift to neutral. Steer to shoulder. Brake gently. Turn ignition off when safe. Chapter 8 Summary. When conditions change, your strategy must change too. Slow down, look ahead, and be ready to act decisively. In the next section, we'll cover techniques to manage on-road emergencies. Chapter 9. Handling emergencies. Mechanical failures and sudden hazards can happen to any driver. Knowing the right response keeps a frightening moment from becoming a tragedy. This chapter walks through the most common on-road emergencies and the calm, correct actions that bring you and your passengers home safely. Tire blowout. Grip the steering wheel firmly and stay straight. Do not slam on the brakes. Ease off the accelerator. Allow the vehicle to slow naturally. When speed drops, steer gently to a safe area off the roadway and brake lightly. Brake failure. Pump the brake pedal rapidly. This may build pressure and restore braking power. Downshift to lower gears to let engine braking slow the vehicle. Apply the parking brake gradually. Prepare for a skid and steer toward a clear escape path. Stuck accelerator. Shift to neutral, engine may race, but power to the wheels is removed. Steer to the shoulder, apply steady brake pressure, and turn ignition to ACC or OFF once stopped. Do not switch to park while moving. It may lock the transmission and cause loss of control. Power steering failure. Expect the wheel to require much more effort. Steer firmly toward a safe location. Brake gently. Power brakes may also be reduced, but still function with added force. Do not turn off the ignition until the vehicle is completely stopped. Headlight failure. First try the headlight switch and dimmer several times to reconnect contacts. Turn on parking lights, hazard flashers, and fog lamps to help you see and be seen. Slow down, move off the roadway as soon as possible, and call for assistance. Engine overheating. Turn off AC and turn heater to maximum to draw heat from the engine. If gauge stays in the red, pull over, shut off the engine, and wait for it to cool. Never remove the radiator cap when the engine is hot. Scalding steam can erupt. Vehicle fire. Signal. Steer to a safe spot away from structures and traffic. Stop and turn off ignition. Everyone exit the vehicle immediately. Keep at least 100 feet upwind. Call 911. Use a fire extinguisher only if the fire is small and contained in the engine bay. Submerged vehicle. Unfasten seatbelt. If power windows work, lower them immediately. If windows fail, break side window with a headrest post or center punch. Windshield glass is harder. Children first. Push them out, then exit and swim to safety. Running off pavement. Stay calm. Hold wheel firmly and ease off the accelerator. Do not yank back onto the roadway. Allow speed to drop. Check for traffic, then steer gently back onto the pavement. Overcorrection is the main cause of rollover crashes in this situation. Skids and loss of traction. For rear wheel skid, Steer into the direction you want the front wheels to go. Avoid braking until control returns. Gentle throttle can help straighten front wheel skids. If hydroplaning, ease off gas. Do not brake or turn suddenly. Stalled on railroad tracks. Get everyone out immediately and move away at a 45 degrees angle toward oncoming train. If no train is visible, try pushing the vehicle clear or restarting in neutral. Call the emergency number on the crossbuck sign or 911 to alert rail dispatch. Chapter 9 Summary. Emergencies demand quick thinking and steady hands. Practice these steps mentally so they're automatic when seconds count. Our final chapter covers sharing the roads with other users. Chapter 10. Sharing the road. Florida's highways host motorists, cyclists, pedestrians, and even animal-drawn vehicles. Safe drivers respect everyone's space and rights. This section details how to coexist with the most vulnerable road users and the biggest ones without conflict or confusion. Pedestrians. Yield to pedestrians in crosswalks, marked or unmarked. Stop well before the lines so drivers in other lanes can see them. Be extra alert near schools, buses, parked cars, and driveways where pedestrians may appear suddenly. Never block a crosswalk when stopped at a red light or waiting to turn. Bicyclists. Give at least 3-foot clearance when passing, or the entire lane when speed exceeds 30 miles per hour. Do not turn right immediately after overtaking a bicycle. Wait until safely ahead. Watch for cyclists riding out of blind spots when opening car doors or backing. Motorcyclists. Motorcycles accelerate, stop and maneuver quickly. Maintain a larger following gap, 4 seconds. Check mirrors and blind spots twice before lane changes or turns. A bike is easy to miss. Allow the full lane width. Do not crowd or share the lane side by side. Commercial trucks and buses. Avoid lingering in no zones, directly behind, alongside the cab, and close in front where drivers can't see you. Large vehicles need extra room to turn. Never squeeze between a truck and the curb on right turns. When passing, use the left lane and move back only when you can see the entire cab in your mirror. Emergency vehicles. Florida's move over law. Move 1 lane away or slow to 20 miles per hour below the limit when approaching stopped emergency or service vehicles. Yield the right-of-way to lights and sirens. Pull to the nearest edge of the road and stop until they pass. Follow no closer than 500 foot behind an active emergency vehicle. School buses. Red flashing lights and extended stop arm mean stop, regardless of lane, unless on a divided highway with a median barrier. Stay at least 30 foot back to allow children room to cross the roadway. Yellow flashing lights warn the bus is preparing to stop. Slow down and be ready. Slow-moving vehicles. Farm equipment, animal-drawn carts, and construction machinery display an orange triangle. Their top speed is usually 25 miles per hour or less. Pass only in a legal passing zone with sufficient sight distance. Be prepared for unexpected turns into fields or driveways. Remember, they may be wider than 1 lane and lack brake lights or turn signals. Animals and horseback riders. When you see riders or animal-drawn vehicles, reduce speed and avoid sudden movements or horn use. Give extra space when passing. Frightened horses can bolt into traffic. If an animal is loose on the road, slow down and flash headlights. Do not swerve abruptly. Railroad crossings. Stop if warning devices activate or a train is visible. Never try to beat the train. Trains appear slower than they are and need a mile to stop. Respect the signals. After a train passes, watch for a second train on an adjacent track before proceeding. Roundabouts and multi-lane intersections. Yield to traffic already in the circle. Enter when clear and signal exit. Choose the correct lane before entering multi-lane roundabouts. Right for first exit, left for later exits. Do not stop in the circle except to avoid a collision. Chapter 10 Summary. Courtesy, patience, and awareness make Florida roads safer for everyone, big or small, fast or slow. Review these rules often so sharing the road becomes second nature every time your wheels start rolling.